Hello, my name is Love, and in this video I'll be just sharing about the study tips that I did to pass my Nclex exam last June 2021. These are my study routines that I did to help me study and focus on this test. I graduated from the nursing school back in 2009, so it's been over a decade since I am a fresh graduate. So yeah, so to be honest, like, my nursing knowledge is not that as fresh as those who just recently finished their nursing program. With the tip number 1, choose the materials that you're going to study. So I would suggest that you only limit your study materials. You don't need a lot of resources because it will just gonna confuse you. So for me, I use the Saunders 8th edition. So that is what I use for content for comprehensive review. For me, I use 2 Q banks. Number 1 is the UWorld, and it's pricey, but for me it's worth it because of the rationales. UWorld have very detailed rationales. And the second Q bank that I used was the Archer review. I just recently find out about it from Facebook groups. The Archer is very good because it is less pricey. It is very affordable as compared to UWorld. I felt that the Archer questions are very similar with the Nclex questions, the actual Nclex questions, because the questions from Archers are very vague, are simplified and like straight to the point. I feel like it really helped me to boost my confidence in answering the Nclex questions because of the similarity that they have. And the next material that I used was the Prioritization, Delegation, and Assignment by La Charity. So I answered all the questions there. It is very helpful for practicing your prioritization skills. The La Charity really helped me to be confident in answering prioritization questions and delegation. So I really recommend that if you still have time to answer questions, or prior to using the UWorld or the Archer Q bank, to use the La Charity questions first. Another source that I used was the Mark Klimek audio lectures, either on YouTube or Spotify. So I listened to Mark Klimek prior to starting my review, and or a few weeks or days before my actual exam. It really helped me, especially the prioritization lecture, to really how to answer questions about those topics. And Mark Klimek really helped me how to answer Nclex question like a pro. And then aside from those, because there are days that I am not in the mood to study, or I am not in the mental state, or I am so exhausted in answering Q banks or reading Saunders. So what I do is I go to YouTube and search the simple nursing. So there it helped me to understand about the medications, and because it is very simple and they're giving you mnemonics on how to memorize. So number 2 tip, and this is very important, that before you start studying for the Nclex, make sure that you have a plan, because I believe in the quote from Benjamin Franklin that if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Determine which day of the week you're going to study, and then what are the topics that you're going to study in a specific date. Because for me, like, it's gonna be a waste of time if you don't have like a specific plan. Of course, your schedule is flexible depending on yourself, but at least to have a specific agenda on that day. Like, for example, Monday I'm gonna answer 75 questions, and the third tips that I'm going to share is to determine which time of the day that you are more productive on studying. Like for example, for me, I am very active, like my brain is very active, and I can efficiently study during the morning. I wake up 4 or 5 in the morning. It's not every day, but I try to do that, to study for at least 2 hours before going to work. Number 4 is the technique that I've learned is the Pomodoro Technique. So this is focusing for 25 minutes of really deep focus studying. Like if you're gonna study your rational, or if you're gonna review, or if you're gonna memorize some laboratory values. I have this timer, the forest. So this is a Pomodoro timer. If I am studying the rational, I'm gonna click plant, and then this will set a timer for 25 minutes, and I'm not gonna be able to touch my phone because you're gonna ruin the timer. So you're no distraction, totally no distraction for 25 minutes, and after the 25 minutes you will have like a 5-minute break, and then do another 25 minutes, and then 5-minute break, and then after maybe 3 sets of 25 minutes you're gonna have a long break. So that helped me to beat my procrastination, and I'm just like thinking myself, okay, I'm just going to study for only 25 minutes, and then I'll realize that I've been studying for a couple of 25 minutes, and which is very helpful for me. So number 5 is I do rate the topics that I am not familiar with, and just really review the rational. But then after writing those rational, I make sure that after 1 or 2 days or 3 days, I need to review it again. I need to reread it again. Not really to memorize, but reread it again, just to retain the information. And number 6 is to really answer questions. I learned that the most effective way for us to retain the information that we've learned is to answer questions. That is why UWorld and Archer are very effective in studying with this kind of test. And also, like, answering question will help you to boost your confidence on answering the Nclex questions. What I did was, a week before my actual exam, I answered 225 questions daily. I know it's a lot, but it really helped me. Number 7 is make sure that you always take breaks, take a rest, because that was my greatest mistake. The first time I took the test, I really crammed, I really exhausted myself, I isolated myself, which is very unhealthy. But don't overdo it, because you still need to focus on your exam. But if you feel like you need to go to meet some friends, to enjoy, don't be hard on yourself. Get in touch with nature. Like if you're feeling exhausted on studying, maybe walk out and just walk to the park. Number 8 is to avoid triggers or stressors. Of course, this is a major exam and we want to be mentally and emotionally stable. So if you will be able to take off from your work, do it. Like if you can take 1 month off from work, do it. Because I mean, even if you like your job, sometimes work is stressful. So, and number 9 is to have a good sleeping pattern. So try to sleep early as much as possible. Try to wake up the same time every day. Try to wake up by the time that you're going to wake up on the day of your exam. But of course, sometimes there are times that you will not be able to sleep immediately because you're anxious, because you're thinking a lot. But what helped me is, so I have a notebook journal beside my bed, and every time that I cannot sleep at night because of overthinking, like what if I cannot pass the test, so I write everything, like every concerns that running through my head to this journal. So it's like brain dumping, so that I can relax my head. I can like take away all those concerns, all those anxieties, all those rumination to this notebook. Avoid social media and avoid distraction when you're going to sleep, so that you can sleep soundly and then wake up happy. Number 10 is to eat healthy foods like brain foods, blueberries, a lot of blueberries, nuts. Also exercise, maybe stretch or do some light exercises in between your reviews, because it's gonna help your mood, it's gonna help your brain function. So that's all the 10 tips that I can share on how to study for your exam. But I have an additional tip. The last tip is to make sure that you manage your anxiety, because even though if you've studied a lot, you have like memorized all the laboratory values, if you're unable to manage your anxiety, it's worthless. Of course, you are taking a major exam and you want to pass. You do not know if you're gonna pass or if you're gonna fail, right? But managing your anxiety really helps, so that during the exam you have a clear mind. You're in a state where you can think clearly and you are not over empowered by your anxiety. So, but what are the things that I did to manage my anxiety? I don't know if you would like to try it, but for me it really helped a lot. I did meditation. So I did meditate for 10 minutes. There are a lot of guided meditations on YouTube that you can follow, like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. During the meditation, you're not gonna be able to eliminate all the thoughts. It's there, but it will help you how to manage or how to control your thoughts, so that it will be like you're separating your thoughts from yourself. I did law of attraction meditations. When I am doing this law of attraction meditation, I am thinking that I already passed the test. Like, I'm imagining myself, like, how will I feel if I pass the test? How does it feel to me if I am already a USRN? I am attracting to myself that I am going to pass this test, I am going to make it, I am going to pass the test. And which I did. I also did gratitude journal every day if I can, like early in the morning or before going to bed. So this is my gratitude journal. So I write 3 things that I am grateful for in a day. Like I am grateful for waking up early this morning to study. I am grateful for the place that I have to study, a quiet place so I can study. It helps because you're not gonna complain about anything, even if like, oh, something goes wrong when you're studying. You're okay with that because you are grateful that you are able to do this test, you're able to review for the test, and you are able to have money to process this test, right? So it just helps your mentality that even if things go wrong, you are still blessed and grateful. And maybe for the very last step is, if you're a religious person, just pray the rosary, pray a novena, and of course you're gonna do all your best, but then you have to surrender it at the end of the day to God or the universe, because if it's really the right time for you to pass the test, you will pass the test. And if ever you failed, always remember that everything happens for a reason. Don't feel discouraged if you failed once, or if you failed twice, or if you failed, but always learn the lesson and always change something so that you can improve yourself and then you can do better the next time. You did your best. Maybe this is not the right time yet. So yeah, so that is all for that, for the study tips that I have that I want to share, and I hope that you find this video very helpful. And if you have questions, if you want to ask me questions, you can comment down to the comment section below, or maybe you can connect to me on my social media, on my Instagram. So that is all, and I just want to share this video to pay forward because I've experienced how hard it is to find motivation when you are like you're doubting yourself. If you need help, I am just here, and I am very happy to share my knowledge, my experience, and if you want someone to cheer you up, I'm here. So yeah, so thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel that I've created for you guys, and I hope that you pass the Nclex test soon. Take care everyone, and God bless. Bye.